This is freedom. This looks like freedom. It looks like responsibility. It looks like enjoyment. It looks like therapy. It looks like fun, and it grows a beautiful garden. My goodness, look at all the crap that you're getting in the grocery store these days. What the heck? You're getting all sorts of sprays and chemicals and all sorts of insecticides in your food. You don't know what you're getting anymore, guys, and I think it's time that you pull the ripcord and you start taking a little food responsibility other than going to the checkout counter at your local grocery store and paying $10 a dozen for stinking eggs. Don't have to pay $8 for eggs. You can pay 16 bucks and feed your chickens, get 4 eggs a day, every day. It just makes sense. And it's fun. This is Eggland's Best $9 organic pasture-raised eggs. And these are not $9 eggs. These are eggs from my chickens right back here behind me. Today, guys, we're going to put aside some of the ridiculousness of expensive eggs, some of the ridiculous rumors, and today we're gonna talk to you about keeping your own little backyard flock so you can have eggs and not have to pay $8.99 per dozen or $9.99 or 12 bucks or whatever it costs for eggs. And you can fertilize your lawn and your garden and grow good veggies with it. Let's learn today.
I ain't afraid of work. I ain't afraid of play. I ain't afraid to get the job done and do it my own damn way.
Woo, chicken.
I ain't afraid of life. Times like this. If you mess with my freedom, I'll tell you just what you can kiss. That's right.
I hope my chickens don't get offended by these Eggland's Best, because Eggland is not a real place. This is Eggland's Best, let me tell you. Let me set them down over here. So guys, I've kept chickens ever since I was about this high. You know, well, I probably was never about that high, but I've kept chickens as a young man on our homestead slash farm. I grew up with chickens. We always had chickens. I grew up in a manner that most people don't grow up anymore. When we needed a chicken for dinner, Dad sent me as a young man to the chicken coop to get a chicken for dinner. It was my responsibility as a young man, and the reason I'm talking about this, responsibility, it's important. It was my responsibility as a young man to take care of the animals in the barnyard. Now, does this look like a barnyard to you? Post a comment, tell me if it does. If you live in the fancy schmancy city or in some fancy neighborhood and this looks like a barnyard to you, let me tell you what it really looks like. This is freedom. This looks like freedom. It looks like responsibility. It looks like enjoyment. It looks like therapy. It looks like fun, and it grows a beautiful garden. My goodness, look at all the crap that you're getting in the grocery store these days. What the heck? You're getting all sorts of sprays and chemicals and all sorts of insecticides in your food. You don't know what you're getting anymore, guys, and I think it's time that you pull the ripcord and you start taking a little food responsibility other than going to the checkout counter at your local grocery store and paying $10 a dozen for stinking eggs. Now, first and foremost, how many eggs can a person eat? Really, honestly, $10 a dozen for eggs. How many eggs can a person eat? These eggs I sell to my neighbors for $4 a dozen. $4 a dozen is expensive for country folk, okay? We're used to $1.25 a dozen eggs. Now let's think about that. You know, what, 30 cents an egg? I don't even know, $1.25, so let's just, for a dozen eggs, let's just say that's 10 cents an egg-ish, 11 cents an egg. Guys, egg prices are up, but it doesn't have to hurt you. And how many stinking eggs can you eat? Still, I will tell you that eggs are probably the least expensive source of protein that you can get healthy protein, and there are many, many arguments over eggs and whether they're healthy. This year they're healthy for you, next year they're not healthy for you, but I'm gonna tell you something that is healthy for you, and we're gonna put aside some misnomers about keeping chickens. Raising your own eggs is great. It is wonderful. You have chicken scraps every day that come out of your kitchen if you cook in the kitchen, and if you don't cook in the kitchen, if you go out to eat. Even the food, I take a chicken box or a chicken bag home with me every time I go out to eat. I take every bit of my scraps, my food scraps from my kitchen, and I put them right here. I take every bit of my scraps from the garden. I take grass clippings. I take anything and everything I can put in this chicken coop, and it turns into butt fertilizer that comes out the backside of that chicken, right back there, and it turns into delicious eggs that I've raised myself. Now, if you live in a municipality that doesn't allow for chickens, I say test it. I say test it. I say get yourself some chickens. Now, don't get yourself a rooster, but get yourself some chickens. And I tell you what makes a good friend, handing eggs over to the neighbors. You go over to the neighbors, you think you got a neighbor that might tell on you a little bit. Go over there, knock on their door and tell them you're going to be raising chickens. Tell them they're going to be quiet. You need to research the breed of chicken that you have if you live in a neighborhood or you live in an HOA that won't allow you to even set your trash can outside. I don't even know what to tell you there. You made that choice. I didn't make that choice. Even the rooster's mad about that. But you can raise your own chickens, talk to your neighbors, be kind, don't fight them. But I tell you what, I don't like the idea that the government can tell you that you can't feed yourself in your own home. The government can tell you can't raise a garden. And the rooster's a show off today. The government can tell you can't raise chickens. The government can tell you can't have animals in your backyard, and I don't think that's right. If you can have a cat or a dog, you should be able to have a chicken, a small flock of chickens. Now, let's walk around the coop here. This is an older coop that I built probably, 9 years ago, maybe 10 years ago. It's held up pretty well, but it's in a little bit. This is an outside run. I have 4 hens in here and 1 rooster. Do you need a rooster in order to get eggs? And the answer is heck no, you don't need a stinking rooster to get eggs. Do you need a rooster as a woman to produce eggs? No, you don't need a rooster to produce eggs. Now, your eggs might have a little bit of special added protein if you have a rooster, and you may be able to hatch out baby chicks. And we have a broody hen we're gonna show you here in just a minute. We're gonna gather up the eggs. Do they stink? Does it stink right here? If you don't keep the chicken coop clean, it will start to develop a smell. That smell smells like chicken poop, but it doesn't smell like you're driving by 10,000 chickens in a chicken house on a chicken farm. It smells like a chicken coop. You keep some fresh bedding in here, you keep fresh shavings in here. You can buy those at Walmart, Tractor Supply, wherever you want to buy them, order on Amazon, whatever you want. And you can raise chickens. What does it cost to buy a chicken? You can go over to Tractor Supply, or you can order them from or Rural King or any of your local farm stores, or you can just order them online from hatcheries like Meyer Hatchery, Murray McMurray Hatchery. These chickens that we have right here are a special kind of breed. They're called the American Breast chicken. They do very well. They are a dual purpose bird, meaning that they lay eggs and they clearly crow. They lay eggs and they can be used for meat also. I'm not eating these birds. These are my laying hens, and this is what provides me and 2 or 3 of my neighbors with all of their eggs. I've got 4 hens, and I typically get 3 to 4 eggs per day. Nearly every day of the year. How many eggs can you eat? I can't eat that many eggs. Now, I offset the cost of my chickens by selling some of my eggs, and you could probably sell your eggs in your neighborhood for $6 a dozen if you wanted to, and make a little bit of money. A bag of chicken feed costs 11 or 12 bucks. 1 bag of chicken feed for this many chickens will last them for a month. So 12 bucks. Instead of buying a dozen eggs for 12 bucks, you're buying a bag of feed and you're getting, how many dozens? This rooster, he's got a little bit of an attitude problem evidently. He's just showing off. Check him out. What are you doing, bud? Showing off? Oh, that's Randy the rooster. So let me take you around the chicken coop here and show you what we got. This was a fun little project, and you can go buy pre-made chicken coops. It's going to cost you some money, man. It's going to cost you $300-400 bucks to build this on your own, maybe $500. Or if you go buy one, it's probably going to cost you, I don't know, it could cost you a couple grand. Just take a weekend and build something cool. We're gonna walk around this coop and show you some of the innovative ideas that I had with this coop. And you notice that rooster didn't start crowing until we walked over here. So this is an outside run. It is a 8x8x4. If I had to do it again, I would make it an 8x8x8 so that I could walk in there and shovel out the chicken poop. Now, I just go in with a rake and a shovel about 3 times a year, and I'll shovel this out and I'll put a little bit of shavings in there, and that's it. I used hardware cloth like this. You can use chicken wire, you can use whatever you want. Chickens are not masters of escape, but predators are masters of breaking in. You're not so much fencing your chickens in, you're actually preventing predators from getting into your coop. So that's super important to know. Inside this coop, I've got a roost and I've got something pretty cool. This is a handy dandy nest box right here. We're gonna raise it up real slow because I have a hen right here that's sitting on eggs. She's gonna hatch out baby chicks soon. Hey, mama. Hey, little mama. We don't want to bother her. We've got good eggs right in there. There we go. All the hens, guys, chickenology. Here's a little chickenology lesson. All these hens want to lay in the same stinking box. But that broody hen, and you'll hear her, she's singing her brood song right now. It's like, whoop, 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 whoop. You'll hear her. She might freak out a little bit, but that's okay. Hey, girl. Yep, she's up off the nest. That gives us an opportunity to check the eggs. You can see I'm running a little bit low of feed. My feed hangs in here so the chickens don't take their feet and scratch it out. You can see they roost in here. So you see all these chicken turds. These chicken turds are garden gold, man. Awesome. You need a roost for your chickens. Just a roosting pole, and they'll get up there and roost really, really high. I made this really easy access. I store my wheelbarrow under my chicken coop so I can slide this little dude up right there, and I can rake all the manure off into my chicken coop, or excuse me, into my wheelbarrow, and put it out there on the garden or sprinkle it on a spot in the yard that needs a little bit of attention. Now that she's off of the nest, let's open this up and see what kind of bounty we got today. And we don't want to bother her eggs because she's going to hatch out babies. This is a neat little setup. You don't want to go into your chicken coop every single day. You're not going to clean your coop out every day. It's not a litter box. It's not your dog's poop. It's chicken poop. You don't want to walk in there every day. This is set up high off the ground to keep predators off, keep it from rotting. We have a great little roof system right here. And I'll post a link at the end of this video to building this coop in case you guys want to build a coop just like this for yourself. Now, every day I go down, or every other day. You don't have to get your eggs up every day, but man, if you've got kids, what an awesome way to teach them responsibility. Teach them to clean the coop. Teach them a little bit. I mean, it's important. Our children aren't getting the fresh air that they need. Guys, post a comment here. They're not getting the fresh air that they need, they're not getting the exercise that they need, and they're not learning responsibility. They're learning how to go swim at the pool, and that's fine. That's a good way to learn responsibility too. They're also learning how to play soccer and run back and forth to this and that. However, I think it's a good idea that chickens are brought into your child's life, and the reason for that is because chickens don't live forever, right? They just don't. They're not going to live forever. And I think it's a great way to teach your children a lesson about life and death and growth and senescence and how things don't live forever. And little Spot, the doggy, isn't going to live forever. And nor is little Nora the chicken or Randy the rooster. They're just not going to live forever. One day they're going to go out and they're going to discover that one of the chickens is sick or one of the chickens has passed away. And that's a good life lesson. We don't get that life lesson anymore. So I'm going to check these eggs a little bit. I'm just putting my hand on them here. Let me show you guys. So this is her nest. That's her brood. She's got a pile of eggs in there. Count them for me. Tell me how many you see. That's how many baby chicks that we're gonna have, and it takes around 21 days for that mama to hatch out them baby chicks. Is that ideal? No, not really, but what an awesome lesson to teach your kids for life. So, to take away all the rumors, a $12 bag or $16 bag of chicken feed with 5 chickens will last about a month. It doesn't stink over here. This is great fertilizer if you don't want to put chemicals on your food, if you want to raise a garden. Again, it does not smell bad. It's very inexpensive to raise them, but it's a little bit on the front end to buy and build a coop like this. But man, you can get online, you can go to the video after this and watch how I built this coop and just build it yourself. I don't have plans. Use your imagination. Get the kids outside, get the husband outside, the wife outside. Enjoy the outdoors, guys. Keeping chickens is super easy, and if you're sick and tired of paying $8 to $10 for a dozen stinking eggs, spend a little bit of money and teach yourself and your children a little bit about raising chickens. At the end of this video, there's going to be some links, and those links will teach you how to raise baby chicks, how to build a chicken coop, and how to raise your adult chickens. It's super easy. These guys require zero work, guys. Maybe, like I said, once a month, once every 2 months, you got to clean the coop out. Takes you 20 minutes. If you wait 6 months, it's going to take you 2 hours, right? So you spend a little bit of time with them, you get the valuable eggs that you want, you know what the animals have been eating, and you get to fertilize your lawn and or your garden. Thank you guys so much. You can keep chickens, it's super easy. If you have any questions, oh, and you don't need a rooster to get eggs, okay? In fact, if you live in town, I encourage you to not get a rooster, because if you want angry neighbors, that's the way to do it. It's just like a barking dog. Thank you guys. We'll see you next time on the Stoney Ridge Farm Channel. You don't have to pay $8 for eggs. You can pay 16 bucks and feed your chickens, get 4 eggs a day, every day. It just makes sense. And it's fun. See you next time, guys. Be sure you check out some of these links right here at the end of this video. Woo!